Okay. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you once again for joining in for today's session on generative AI, fast evolving space where tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Sora, and Midjourney are transforming the way we work, create, and communicate. So this session, we'll explore how these tools can be applied in real-world scenarios, unleashing creativity, automating processes, and redefining digital experiences. A small note about us as Skilleme. At Skilleme, we believe in building future-ready skills that empower individuals and organizations to thrive in a rapidly changing world. As a L&D partner, we specialize in corporate training, upskilling programs, and executive education. So bringing together technology, business, and leadership capabilities. Our goal is to bridge the gap between industry needs and talent readiness, enabling professionals to adapt, grow, and lead with confidence in this digital era. We are delighted to have Mr. Manish Dhane as today's expert speaker. Manish is a generative AI-driven digital marketing and content expert with over 12 years of experience in SEO, ACM, and campaign strategy. His expertise lies in blending creativity with AI-powered intelligence to design content ecosystems that are faster, smarter, and highly personalized. In his current role with WireSocket, Manish experiments with generative AI tools and automation to help brands transform how they create, distribute, and optimize digital content. From adaptive SEO campaigns to AI-generated storytelling, he works at the forefront of integrating AI into marketing workflows that drive measurable growth and engagement. Beyond his professional work, Manish is also a mentor at Lovely Professional University, where he introduces the next generation of marketers to the practical applications of generative AI in digital strategy. His recent projects explore AI-assisted content generation, predictive campaign optimization, and building scalable digital narratives, pushing the boundaries of how business and creators connect with the audience in the AI era. So, thank you, Manish, for taking your time out from a busy schedule and doing this session for us and our learners. I hand over the session to you now so you can get started.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Patil. So today we are
Manish,
going to talk
one
about.
moment. If you can be a little loud, I think the volume is a little low. And I encourage all the participants to use the chat window to ask any of your questions if may have during the session.
Okay, am I audible now properly?
Yes, yes, Manish.
Okay. So today we are going to talk about the foundations of generative AI, the creative applications across different mediums, and real-world impacts and how to use generative AI responsibly. So thank you very much, Mr. Patil. Let's start with generative AI. So uh, consider this: a century ago, like 100 years ago, we were using technologies, electrification to change the business, every business, like uh, the kind of use of lights, the use of machines for our industries and everything. So that is the thing that changed our business industry for better. And AI, generative AI is doing the same for creativity, manufacturing, healthcare, and every industry in between right now. So what if the machine could not just process the information, but it actually can create also? So that is the role of generative AI. So we have traditional AI, then we have generative AI. So when we had traditional AI, the use of traditional AI was to observe, to judge, to predict patterns, to give us data, to give us consolidated data points to make decisions and take decisions and implement processes. So generative AI is what generative AI does is generative AI is one step closer to being more human-like. Like it can create policies, write policies for you for It can design artwork, it can create music, it can be used to create content basically for everything and anything. So that shifts from what do what I say to imagine what I mean. Like I don't have to I don't have to exactly tell him to like do this. Just imagine what you want the AI to do, and it will do it for you. So generative AI is fundamentally transforming how work gets done, how products emerge, and how markets compete. So let's get started with the presentation now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Manish.
So defining generative AI. So I think there is not very much need to like explain what is generative AI, since we already use generative AI in our day-to-day life, and we use ChatGPT to do various tasks, to perform various tasks like to draft an email, to draft an application, or to write something, to type something, or proofread some content, or to generate images. There are trends on social media which social media users use to create images for like memes, images, and everything. So at its core, generative AI is just not about predicting things. It's about creating things, creating content, any type of content like text content, video content, or uh, audio content. So it's about creating something new, something unique. Unlike traditional AI, like I already said that traditional AI was used to like predict things, take data points, and give us information to execute and things like that. So generative AI is all about production. It learns from massive data sets, patterns that and then generates original outputs that often look indistinguishable from human created work. Like whatever we create, like whatever we write, for example, if I want to write a story, or if I want to write a script for a ad campaign, so when I'm going to write that ad campaign, it is going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort into to research and everything. And if I prompt an AI to do that thing, it will do it much more faster and much more distinguishable than what I'm going to do if I am going to do it. In simple words, the traditional AI is only for judging and observing the processes, and generative AI is the creator. Generative AI basically collaborates with human and create content, create things out of prompts and everything. So let's talk about general facts and figures. Okay, so I request everyone, if you have any questions or any queries regarding anything that I am explaining here, so please use your chat window to ask your questions, and I'll I'll answer your queries. Okay, so let's talk about facts and figures of generative AI. The generative AI market is projected to hit 1.3 trillion by 2032. As we already know that. Generative AI, a lot of companies, mostly 40-50% of the global companies have already started using generative AI in their day-to-day work, in their advertisements and all. So it is a projected prediction that it is going to hit 1.3 trillion by 2032. And in 2023, 38% of 38% of companies globally had already started using Gen AI tools. Like when ChatGPT introduced in 21-22, by 2023, 38% of companies already started using generative AIs, large language models. That is ChatGPT 2 and 3, and up to ChatGPT 4 trillions in 5 years. And generative AI is expected to contribute an additional 4.4 trillion annually to global economy by 2030. So what is how it is going to affect the job, how it is going to affect the job market? Sorry. How it is going to affect the job market. So right now, a lot of rumors are going around that AI is going to take our jobs and AI is going to obsolete the need of human being, the need of human touch. But far from it, AI is not going to take our job. It is going to make our jobs easier. It is going to fuel new careers. It is going to start more positions to use, like AI trainers, prompt engineers, ethics officers, creative technologists, while augmenting traditional roles. Like the traditional roles, whatever the traditional roles right now are, like HR for recruitments, recruitments and everything, a marketing manager to create campaigns, to design campaigns for a company or for a product, for a brand. All these traditional jobs are going to be handled by AI, and there are going to be more jobs for human beings to execute. Like you have to be very good in prompt engineering. You have to be an ethics officer to execute moral policies. You have to be an AI trainer to uh, train your generative AI from data sets. You have to collect information and everything. You have to be a creative technologist where you are going to create technologies, creative technologies with collaboration with AI. So there are multiple types of generative AIs. We already use the most famous one is ChatGPT. We already use ChatGPT as generative AI in our day-to-day life. So what other AIs are there? Like how professionals are using generative AI. So for text generation, there is ChatGPT, Gemini Cloud used for copywriting, coding, customer support, and other repetitive tasks like support and everything. Then comes image generation. So image generation is fairly uh, a new thing where a lot of people are creating images from AI. So Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, these are the LLMs used for uh, generating images, AI generated images, like for campaigns, for product mockups, for fashion designing and everything. Then you might have heard that some LLMs are even creating songs. There was a person in US who used generative AI to write a song, and then he recorded that song in some famous celebrity's voice, like a famous singer's voice, and it was very difficult to distinguish the AI version of that song and the real version of that song from the celebrity. So are you going to do that? Jukebox, 11 Labs, and there are more LLM models which can be used for voice synthesis, music creation, and podcast. So 11 Labs is the most famous text to uh, text to voice converting LLM model. You can actually use it for free. I think. Let me see if I have the. Um, okay, I'll share the URL with you guys in some time for that particular website. So then comes video generation. So Runaway, Pika Labs, Sora, these are the LLMs used for creating video ads, short films, training videos. So Sora is the mostly used LLM for creating video content. And then comes 3D simulation. So you everybody has heard about NVIDIA. Everybody
Hmm.
has heard about NVIDIA, how it has grown leaps and bounds, and how it has created a massive market for uh, 3D simulation models and processors. So NVIDIA Omniverse Unreal Engine with AI support used for gaming, AR, VR, and digital twins. Then comes multimodal AI, which basically does everything, like from creating text to generating images. So GPT and with mathematical problems and deep research and everything. So ChatGPT 4.0, GPT 4.0, Gemini Ultra are capable of processing text, images, and voice together, bridging human-like interactions. So there are multiple uh, LLMs. It's just that you need to be sure which kind of LLM you are going to need in order to do the task you want it to do. So you can choose from any of the LLMs like ChatGPT if you are using for day-to-day purposes for creating content and using image for images. Generally, people use Midjourney, DALL-E, and now Gemini Nano Banana. And for audio generation, 11 Labs is very economic uh, option, and there are also free versions available for audio generations, and for video generations like Sora is the most used LLM. So what is the framework behind generative AI? How generative AI works? So what goes into generative AI? So there are a lot of massive data sets from which generative AI models get trained. So data collection is the most important aspect of a framework of generative AI. So a lot of governments and a lot of people, high profile people have uh, like uh, said this about generative AI that you should not put your personal information on ChatGPT or Gemini or anywhere, because this information will use to train the generative AI, and it may be used against you in future. So that is the risk of using generative AI. This is small risk of using generative AI, but basically you can actually use the generative AI to automate your work, to do your day-to-day work. So data collection, AI learns from massive data sets from books to code to art. Neural networks, there are GANs, transformers, and diffusion models, and core of systems used for training LLMs. Uh, then there are generations. AI predicts what comes next, the word, pixel, or note until it forms an output. And the human feedback. That is the most important part of a framework behind any generative AI. Human moderation, the human feedback, the human touch, where we tell the trained model that what is right or what is wrong, and reinforce it with learning human feedback, relevance, and quality. So a framework is a collection of these are the frameworks. These are the collection of pre-built tools, libraries like lots of information, lots of data, lots of definitions, lots of content, structured environment that simplifies, accelerates the development of an artificial intelligence. So how to implement a generative AI? So basically, a lot of people don't know how to pick a right model, or how to identify the case how you are going to implement the right generative AI. So first of all, identify the right use case. So what is your use case? Do you want to write an email? Do you want to create a image? Do you want to create a video? Do you want to create a 3D simulation? Or if you want to find some data sets between some research or what. So first of all, you need to identify the right use case. Then pick a model. What model you want? What kind of model you want to process your data? So open source, Llama, Stable Diffusion. These are for uh, uh, image creations, and enterprise like content and everything is OpenAI and Anthropic. Anthropic is cloud AI. So then fine tune on domain specific data. Like you can give some references, you can give some uh, presets. Like if you have legal paperwork, if you have some healthcare, if you are using it in healthcare, you can give some previous studies. Or brand wise, you can give some previous examples of your campaigns, how you used to write it manually. So you can train your AI on that. Then integrate with workflows, APIs, CRMs, ERP, CMS. And there is another phenomenon right now going on is workflow automation, where you can use if this then that model to create a workflow without need of any APIs or coding or anything. Like this, the workflow automation model uses no code, no AI, no code, no APIs, and no tech. So what it does is it has a trigger and then it has a execution. So whenever a person is going to trigger an event, the workflow is going to be activated and it is going to implement a process. For example, if you are receiving an email and you have set up an workflow automation that whenever you are going to get an email, the from your email account, there should be a reply has to be go to that person. So you can create that kind of automations, or you can use it for cross platform sharing, like on social media, on multiple forum platforms and everything. So that is how workflow automation works. And then monitor and refine, set guardrails, measure performance, reduce bias. So when you get the result, when you get the result of any AI for any AI based process, you need to like set the guardrails. So it will be not used for like because AI makes a lot of mistakes, AI makes a lot of noise. So it should not use for like first of all proofread it and cross check it, then measure whatever the performance you are expecting it. So that is how you are going to implement an generative AI. So prompt. Prompt is the most important thing for any generative AI. If you don't know how to write a prompt, if you don't know how to get a desirable result from an AI, that AI is not going to work for you. Because if even you don't want what if you don't know what you want, then AI is not going to give it to you. So you have to be very specific. You have to be very clear in your instructions that what do you want, what are your desirable results, whatever your results format is going to be. So these are the kind of things you need to be prepared with before writing a prompt, before going to the AI. So what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is not a very technical thing. Prompt engineering just means that write clear instructions that's called prompts to guide AI tools to create the best possible answer or content. It's like asking question the right way. For example, if you want to write I'll give you one example what I use to generative AI for. Like if I want to write a blog post, I need to be very clear about how many words I want in that blog post. What should be the title of that blog post? What are the topics and what are the bullet points used I'm going to use in that blog post? What's that blog post is about? So I have to be very clear about my instructions uh, in order to get the desirable result from uh, generative AI. You give an AI prompt, which could be a question, command, or a description. The AI will work on those patterns, and it will give a response from whatever it learned from the data sets. So why it is so important? Strong prompts ensure AI produces accurate, relevant, and useful results. So accurate, relevant, and useful. These are the keywords here. So a lot of times, like 20-30% times, AI gives uh, bad results, or you can say fake results or incorrect results. That is because when you are going to ask something from an AI, if there is less information about it or no information about it, it will make it up. So you have to be very careful about it. You have to fact check it. You have to proof check it in order to be stay relevant, stay accurate. You need to be very careful about whatever AI is giving to you, and you need to be very careful in your prompt also. If you are going to if you are going to ask something to a generative AI, and that information is not doesn't exist or is not available at that time, it will make something up and give it to you. So a good prompt engineering saves time, helps get high quality outputs, whether writing a text, creating, or even in codings. So there are three types of prompting: zero shot, few shots, and a chain of thoughts. So zero shot is when you just write a command, you just write something without any examples, and you ask something from a generative AI. A few shots means whenever you give some examples to the AI in order to get a desirable result. For example, if you have a brand voice, and if you have used some taglines in your brand in the past, you can give those taglines to the AI. So it will recognize the patterns in your brand voice. It will recognize the tone of voice, and give you the it will give you result accordingly. And chain of thoughts is when you are solving a complicated problem. So you have to break it down to pieces, and you need to go step by step in order for better understanding and accurate result. So that is how you are going to use prompt in order to get desirable result from any AI model. So where is this generative AI is headed? So for example, hyper personalization in real time experiences that uh, many of you may have used Mailchimp for personalized emails. So imagine if you have an e-commerce company and you have 5,000 products SKUs, and you need to personalize each and every product according to the user's needs. So how you are going to do it? So you are going to use workflow automation and use prompt engineering with generative AI in order to get the personalized result you want for your your end user. So hyper personalization and real-time experiences, human AI collaboration, and data-driven business eligibility. So a human AI collaboration is what when you give command to an AI and it gives you some results, and you are not very satisfied with the result. It is not up to the mark. You need to add, or you need to fine tune it, or you need to be conversing with the AI in order to get more desirable result. And data driven business agility is when you use complex problems, big data sets, big calculable data sets. So it will actually do it for you in short amount of time. So that is where the generative AI is headed. So in future, you don't need to solve a complex problem, or you don't need to go to a you don't need to go to a designer or something for personalizations, and you don't need to go to a support team for real time experiences. You are going to use generative AI. You are going to train your generative AI models to do these kind of things, these kind of automations, to to get your time free, so you can think about how to scale your business, how to grow it, how to use more creativity, how you are going to use it responsibly. This there is there These are the things you need to be thinking about when generative AI is going to take your place in repetitive work. That is where the generative AI is headed. Use of generative AI in real world. So there are some examples of how generative AI has impacted real world experiences. So GitHub, you all know the online repository of code, GitHub. So GitHub Copilot is a generative AI created by GitHub. So it has boosted developers' productivity by 55%. How? So whenever developer is coding a program, creating a program, it will simply suggest the relevant uh, code snippets and repetitive tasks. So it will improve your productivity. So by early 2025, it was used by 15 million developers globally, with 88% of AI generated code accepted in final projects. So 88% of AI generated code accepted in final project is a very big number, like only 12% margin of error. Then the another example of Pfizer, accelerated drug discovery with AI. So Pfizer is a very well-known drug company, pharma company. So Pfizer leveraged generative AI to simulate and evaluate thousands of drug candidates. So before going to human trials and before going to create a drug or prototype, they use simulated environments and simulated uh, sessions to create to discover new drugs, to innovate the new kind of pharmaceuticals they are going to use. So this accelerated their pipeline innovation while maintaining compliance with strict healthcare and data regulations. So again, this is a very important case for how healthcare system is going to be affected by generative AI. And we all know about the new Coca-Cola ads, which used AI-based videos. We also, many of you have also seen the use of generative AI in Marvel movies. Like they have used a generative AI to create the whole introduction song of one web series of theirs. So that is also a use of generative AI in real world. So these are the foundations of generative AI, how you are going to use generative AI, how to use prompt engineering in order to get desirable results, and how to use how to use generative AI in real world, and how it is where it is going, where the generative AI is going. So creative applications across multiple mediums. Generative AI isn't confined to a single industry. So it goes to advertising, films, gaming, fashion, music, healthcare, education, engineering, IT, and everywhere. It impacts productivity and creates amplification. So AI model empowers anyone from solo entrepreneurs and students to global agencies and entertainment giants. So for example, a entrepreneur has tasks to execute. So what he can do is he can actually create some workflow automations, like for recruitment, for uh, personalizations, for lead generation, for creating marketing campaigns, for creating policies and everything. So it can be used for by solo entrepreneurs in that manner, and students can use for research generative AI for research purposes for their projects and everything. And global agencies and entertainment giants are already using generative AI. The latest example you might have heard about the movie Ranjana, where they actually changed the ending of that movie to be a happy ending. Although a lot of people were against it because this is a violation of human creativity, but nonetheless they have used it to create a totally new ending for the movie, to express their vision and how they wanted that movie to be ended. So they have created an entire different ending for that movie. So that is how generative AI can be used in different industries, in different sectors. Moreover, AI augments human creativity rather than replacing it. So as you can see that when a when you create something with AI, you already know what you want to create, what you want to write, what you want to generate. So it will just augment your creativity, not it doesn't come out of thin air. So in generative synthesia is a term where synergy, technology, and imagination enhances each other and unlocks new possibilities. So whatever you think, whatever you want to create, the AI will just create it for you. Facts and figures about how it impacts different industries. So over 3 billion assets were generated using Adobe Firefly creative AI tool. So Adobe Firefly is a tool for graphic designers to use. And before generative AI, there were a lot of graphic designers and freelancers were used to create and generate uh, multimedia assets like thumbnails, icons, graphics, images, and everything. But since the inception of generative AI, in last couple of years, 3 billion assets were generated using Adobe's Firefly creative AI tools. So it has it has actually made it possible for graphic designers to uh, create their graphic assets, multimedia assets in very short amount of time. So where they used to like create a piece of graphic in 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours. Now generative AI can generate the same piece of graphic in like couple of minutes. Another one is marketing teams are now using it to create personalized content up to 50 times faster. So what you can do is you can create a month worth of content calendar in one day with generative AI. For example, if you want to, if you are a agency owner or you have a mm, company brand which about which you need to post on social media, you can create all those content, a month worth of content with generative AI in like 10 minutes, and you can actually schedule it across the multiple channels for 1 month, and you will be done for the month. It will not take more of your time to create content, to post it across multiple platforms and everything. So it can be done 50 times faster. Platforms like Midjourney and DALL-E have amassed millions of users in creative communities. Midjourney and DALL-E are the LLMs which are used to create images, and platforms like Pebble and Dribble. These platforms have used the users of these platforms have used Midjourney and DALL-E to create multiple massive amounts of graphics and everything to for users to use. So the media industry, I have already given you the example of media industry, how media and entertainment industry are using generative AI to create videos, to create short films, ad films, and local content according to vernacular content according to their needs, special effects, and adaptation of global assets. And educational institutes are using generative AI for research purposes and for foundational skills for future creators, for training their students, training the future creators how to use generative AI to complete a complicated task, a complex task in lesser amount of time. So types of creative applications. Generative AI's reach spans nearly all creative mediums: visual art design, music and audio generation, writing and content. We have already talked about how generative AI uses their LLMs to create content. So you just need to be sure about what LLM you are going to use. For example, visual art and designs tools like Midjourney, DALL-E, and Adobe Firefly allow image generation from text. So text to image, text to video, text to audio. These are the kind of generative AIs which can be used for visual art and design, real-time editing and visual effects, for films, advertising, and branding. Then music and audio generation platforms like Eva and Amper Music, and there is another platform going on, Suno, which generates royalty-free music for general users to use. It creates music which is not copyright, and you can use it in your custom scores, in your jingles, in your uh, Instagram reels, or wherever you want it to use. Writing content, a lot of people have used generative AI, ChatGPT and Gemini for content creation, like for blog post, uh, for script writing, for story writing, for entertainment content creation, copywriting purposes, social media posts, long narratives. So that these are the types of creative applications of generative AI. Video productions and animations. There was a trend going on some time back where you can use chat gpt to create a ghibli like images. It has been very much criticized by the owner of ghibli style animation, but nonetheless people have used it. Gaming and virtual world, fashion designing, all these all these are creative applications of generative AI. So how human and AI co-create our content? What is the framework? So input, draft, iteration, and delivery. So input, it's very straightforward. We just give a prompt to the AI. Draft, uh, whenever you are using prompt you are using prompt to give command to the generative AI, always mention that you need multiple options. This is a very practical based applications which I also use in my use of generative AI. So whenever you give a prompt to any generative AI, always use always tell the generative AI to give you multiple options. So it will allow you to choose the multiple options from, and you can choose the best possible options from it, and then you can give your feedback for that option if you want to fine tune it, or if you want to tweak it a bit, or you want to change it a bit. Then final part is the delivery, where the generative AI will give you the polished and co-created product which is ready to use. So that is how it works. It does not work like you tell AI to generate something, and it will give you whatever you want, and you go and use that piece of content. So the framework is you give the prompt, you tell the AI to give you multiple options, then you tweak it a bit, you talk to the AI like a people, like a like your team member, and it will give you the final polished product. That is how the AI works. For example, uh, we are using Canva, the designers, the social media, the owners of social media agencies, and social media uh, uh, platform, social media creators, they are using Canva before since even AI introduced. So what they used to do was they used to select template or create the template from scratch. They used Canva's library to create a post or create a reel or create a video. So it took a long time, and it was a very daunting task to create something from scratch, something of social media post from scratch. And if you have to create 30 posts in a day, or 2 days, or a couple of or like 3-4 days, it is a very hectic and very boring task. So what Canva did is Canva actually introduce their own AI model, and it integrated AI power tools that suggest layout, colors, font, generated images based on your prompt, helping you to design better and faster. If you go to Canva AI and write a prompt to create a social media post, or to create a reel, or to create an image, it will help you create your design faster. So generative AI actually democratize design by guiding beginners and speeding up the creative workflow. Again, the next example is Lumen AI's video creation. So Lumen is again another platform which helps you create blog posts into social media videos to like if you have a blog post and you want to create it as a reel for multiple social media platforms, like for Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat, it will help you create that video. So again, what Lumen does is Lumen's AI automatically summarizes the article, select the visuals, and create videos with music and captions requiring minimal input. So what you can do is you can actually take a blog post and ask Lumen's AI to create a video out of it. You can give a prompt what kind of images you want to use it in the video, what kind of visuals, what kind of audio you want to use in the video, and it will do the task for you. You don't have to like select the images, you don't have to select the audio, you don't have to write the caption. It will do it for you, everything, and hours will be saved in video production. So generative AI lowers barriers to video marketing, making it accessible and efficient for all the creators. Then comes the real world impact and responsible use of AI. So as we have discussed that it has its pros and cons. So real question is no longer what can I create? The actual question is what should I create? What should AI create for me? So it's our responsibility, it's our job to use the AI responsibility. So with great creative power comes serious risks. like deepfakes, misinformation, bias, copyrights, concerns. Responsible AI practices are not optional; they are essential now. So these are the kind of new roles we need to adopt if we are going to use generative AI. So if generative AI is doing our work, our traditional work, we need to adopt the role of using it responsibly. So how you are going to use generative AI responsibly? This makes responsible use defined as ethical, transparent, and accountable AI deployment, essential for suitable positive outcomes from generative AI technologies. For example, you should not use someone else's image to train your model or to use that image in your marketing campaign. You should not use anybody else's piece of music, piece of art in your personal content. AI hallucinates or produces false information 15 to 20 times. Like I have already mentioned this, that if you give an AI a scenario about which information is not available on internet, or the scenario doesn't actually exist, it will make it up for you. It will make up some false scenario. It will make up some hallucination, or it will make some kind of misinformation uh, about your prompt. So it is very important for you as a user to use the generative AI responsibility, to use it as it should be used. As deepfakes are growing by 900%, there are laws in making which will stop users to use the AI in a wrong way. So MIT studies AI resume simplified gender bias in hiring. So there was a study at MIT University that AI was actually amplifying gender bias in hiring. Like the AI is favoring males more than females. There was one case of racism also, where AI was Grok AI was actually uh, favoring white people than the uh, other races. So that is the growing concern. And also there is also environmental concerns. As we use more and more AI, it is actually impacting our environment. As we are using more computational power, it is actually exhausting our natural resources. It's affecting the energy uses. It's using more carbon footprints. So there are laws going on. There are laws going on where you can actually limit the use of AI. So there are a lot of global agencies like EU AI Act, UNESCO. They are making guidelines, ethical guidelines for the use of generative AI, like accelerating, adopting global demand, transparency, accountability, bias mitigation, and privacy safeguarding. So how it is going to impact positively? Economically, it accelerates research and development, product design, service delivery, automates repetitive tasks, enable new product lines and business models. Socially, it democratizes access to creative and professional tools, reshapes workforce roles, and enhance. Environmentally, it raises issues of computational sustainability, pushes innovation towards greener AI models and infrastructure. Ethical and legal spotlights on fairness, data privacy, bias elimination, preventing misuses like deepfakes, and ensuring regularity compliances. What are the types of risk in using generative AI? So bias and fairness, I've already mentioned this, reinforcing stereotypes. Misinformation, it creates fake news, deepfakes, IP and copyright infringement, ownership disputes, privacy data misuse. Sustainability, it is using more of natural resources, more of water, we as it needs a lot of cooling, and it needs a lot of carbon footprint. So sustainability is at risk. Framework for using AI responsibly. Transparency, disclose where you are using AI, as Instagram is already using this. If there is a tag you can use, like if you have created some content with the help of AI, you can use a tag created with AI. Accountability, human oversight, fairness, diverse data sets, privacy, secure, anonymous data, and sustainability, optimized for efficiency. How to implement? How to implement responsible use of generative AI. So AI governance policies are being made as we speak, using of watermarking and fact-checking tools. As some of you might know that OpenAI is working on using watermarks in their uh, videos and images, conducting bias audits, building red teams to test models. Red teams are red teams are used for testing. They are independent agencies. They're used for testing the LLM models. Train your staff in responsible prompting. So prompt engineering is again very important when using generative AI. Implementation in works. So how it is being implemented. So OpenAI is, as I've already mentioned, OpenAI is using actively developing watermarking technology for AI generated images, videos, and text to distinguish synthetic content from real, enhancing detection and reducing misinformation risks. Then DeepMind, owned by Google, it's using constitutional AI for ethical alignment. Then IKEA has adopted a process where it is using a generative AI for their photo shoots and studio setups to cut down the logistic related carbon emissions. So at one side, it is, although it is using generative AI, which is again impacting our carbon footprint and natural resources, but on the other hand, it is also cutting down the logistic related carbon emission by 20 to 25%. So that is how a lot of agencies and a lot of here we are going to stop our session for today. If you guys have any questions, or if you have any queries for me regarding this session, you can please ask in chat box. Traditional AI is the previous version of artificial intelligence, where it actually uses data sets and information to predict the outcome. Not very accurately, but actually it was used to observe things. It was used to calculate. It was not used to create things. Like the major difference between traditional AI and generative AI is generative AI is capable of creating content. It will be able to create content on your prompt. But traditional AI was just to use to observe things, just to predict things, just to predict outcomes. That is the basic difference between traditional AI and generative AI. About the presentation, I think I can share this presentation with you guys. I'll share it with Mr. Patil, so he can share it with you guys. What is the best free tool to real-time convert audio from uh, earning calls webcast to text? Audio to text message. So your question is how to create text message out of audio, right? Okay, so let me check. I'll share one. I have a tool by the name of Love Voice, which can actually create text to speech for free, but I'm not sure from audio to text. I'll have to see. So text to audio, this is I have shared a URL for text to audio. You can use this platform to create voice to text to voice message. But for audio to text, I have to see like ChatGPT and Gemini cannot do that. You need to be using. I think Claude can do that. I'll have to check that. I'll have to check that. Any other question? Okay, there is one more LLM and SLM. So LLM is large language model and SLM is small language model. So where LLM is very versatile in nature. It gets trained on very big data sets, and it is for general purposes. It is a very it is very generic in use. Like you can use in your day-to-day life. Where small language models are very specific to any domain, any industry, any specific task, any focused data sets. So if you are if you need to like differentiate between LLM and SLM, SLM is very niche specific and LLM is a versatile language model where you can ask anything to it. Is there any limitation of on generative AI? Difference between generative AI and generative AI and agentic AI. So there are a lot of limitations on generative AI right now. When ChatGPT launched their model 4.0, there were some functions where you can create real life images where you can create like real life videos. So after a couple of days, after a very big debate and after some uh, cases where people have used those capabilities for very wrong reasons, OpenAI has limited those generative AI has limited those functions. So that is the limitation of generative AI actually. Project to create exam to create project within generative which can help understanding with better understanding. So what kind of project you are asking? Like do you want to write something or do you want to create some audio? Like what kind of project? It depends. Okay. So that's why I'm asking for specifics. Okay, what are guardrails? Guardrails are safety features that act as barriers to prevent falls or collisions. Like uh, guardrails in AI can be guardrails in AI can be the features where it actually prevents users to use some copyright properties from using it for misinformation, using it for wrong purposes. Those are the guardrails which you can set up in any LLM. Like a lot of LLMs are using guardrails in AI, so you cannot actually use some personal data against somebody else. Any other questions? I'll share this presentation with Mr. Patil so they can share this presentation with you guys. Apart from that, if there are no questions, we can conclude this session. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for giving your time, and I'll share this presentation. So it will be, I think, shared with you guys too. Thank you very much.